How to multiply and divide fractions. A learning tool. Let's think back. What is a fraction? If we look at this picture, we can see a hexagon with 6 equal pieces. If we had just one piece of the hexagon, one piece of the whole, that would be 1 out of 6 pieces. So how do we write this as a fraction? The fraction would look like this, 1/6. 1/6 of the hexagon. Where do we see and use fractions in everyday life? Let's brainstorm. I'm sure you can think of lots of examples. Whether it's telling the time, 3:15, 3:45, 6:30. Sometimes we use them in sports, like football, whether it's half time, 3/4 time, and netball. You might see them when you shop. Things might be half price or a third off the price. And then we use them every day in cooking with recipes. So whether it's a third of a cup of water or 3/4 of a cup of flour, you can see that we use fractions in everyday life. When you actually look at a fraction, what does it look like? The top number in a fraction is called the numerator. So in this example, it's the number 1 at the top. When we look at the bottom, the number 6, this number in the fraction is called the denominator. Now that we've revised and remembered what a fraction is and what it looks like, we can learn how to multiply and divide them to solve algorithms. Sometimes you need to multiply fractions together. A third times a third. How do we work this out? It's a lot easier than you might think. So we need to multiply out the numerators. So as we just learnt, they're the top numbers. So 1 times 1, it equals 1. What do we do now? We need to multiply out the denominator. So we've done the top numbers, now we do the bottom numbers. So 3 times 3, and we know that equals 9. So what does the fraction look like when we put it all together? So a third times a third was our original algorithm. So when we multiply them out, it becomes 1 times 1 over 3 times 3. It equals 1/9. There you go, you've just solved it. So let's try a harder one. 3/7 times 4/8. Remember, we do the same thing as before. Multiply the numerators together and multiply the denominators together. So the numerators in this algorithm are 3 times 4 and the denominators are 7 times 8. So our algorithm looks like 3 times 4 over 7 times 8. 3 times 4 equals 12 and 7 times 8 equals 56. So our answer is 12 over 56. Now that we know how to multiply fractions, let's learn how to divide fractions. So 3/4 divided by 1/4. What do we need to do now? The first thing we need to do is swap the second fraction's numerator and denominator. So the second fraction was 1/4. So by swapping the numerator and the denominator, it becomes 4 over 1. So our new algorithm looks like 3/4 divided by 4 over 1. We then use the same process as we used to multiply fractions, but we swap the division sign for a times sign or a multiplication sign. So our new algorithm looks like 3 times 4 over 4 times 1. And having swapped the division sign for the multiplication sign, we now multiply them as we did before. So 3 times 4 equals 12, and 4 times 1 equals 4. So the answer to this algorithm is 12 over 4. Let's try one more to make sure you know how to divide fractions. So 7/8 divided by 3/8. Firstly, we swap the numerator and denominator in the second fraction. So 3/8 changes to 8 over 3. Our algorithm now looks like 7/8 divided by 8 over 3. Now change the division sign for the multiplication sign. So 7 over 8 times 8 over 3 equals 7 times 8 equals 56 and 8 times 3 equals 24. So our answer is 56 over 24. We can simplify all our answers down for these algorithms, but we'll learn how to do that in the next lesson. So now let's put these new skills into practice and work through algorithms on multiplying and dividing fractions. Good luck.